Toronto's Meredith Shaw is one busy artist. She's a singer-songwriter, a radio host, a graphic artist, a motivational speaker, and she's even found time to start her own music festival to inspire and motivate young girls. In between all those pursuits keeping Shaw busy, she's still found time to collaborate with other artists and has just released the second disc in her Triangle EP series. The new album is called Hardest Goodbye, and we've invited Meredith Shaw to bring in a song from it to be our Song of the Week. Good afternoon.
Thank you. What an introduction.
Well, you're incredibly busy. I think that you've got so many balls in the air. I have to ask you, we're here to talk about your music, but
yes.
Which is your favorite of all of those? Is music your favorite? Can you do one without the other?
Music is the start. You know, when I was a little redhead, music was my dream, and all these other things have come out of that and come out of making that work. You know, part of being a Canadian artist is surviving and being able to continue to make music and continue to be creative. So some of these other things have really helped me along that way.
Especially as an indie artist, it's a whole other world.
Yeah, Canadian indie artist.
And yet here you are.
And yet here I am. Yes, thank you.
Which is just proof that you can't do anything else.
Absolutely. It's the love of my life.
All right. So this new disc, then, is the second in what you call your Triangle series.
It's Tringle.
Tringle.
I know, it's such a weird word. Joel Plaskett and I made it up, if I can just drop that name. Joel and I worked together on the first EP, and they're 3-song EPs. And so the two of us were drinking red wine in the studio one day, and we came up with Tringle. It's not a single. It's not an EP. It's a Tringle. So yeah.
Okay, well I thought it was Triangle because there were going to be 3 of them.
Hey, you know what? It all works, right? It all works.
So a Tringle is you're Tringle. So there's no great. The trilogy is not a great plan.
Oh yeah,
okay. So tell me about that.
Yes, I know.
I'm still back at Tringle and the red wine. That's fantastic.
And Joel Plaskett. How can you get better than that?
You can't.
We're doing 3 of these 3-song EPs, and Hardest Goodbye, which is just the EP that just came out. That's the second in the in the trilogy.
Now, what links them all?
Well, me being the artist and the primary songwriter, but we're really. I didn't want to release take so long between records. I had the fortunate opportunity to make a place called Happy, and Gordie Johnson produced it. We did it at Willie Nelson's studio. It was a tremendous experience, and then Big Sugar took me out on the road with them. And I met a whole bunch of new fans, and I wanted to get them music, more quickly. So we did the first 3 songs with Joel and thought, well, let's release these now, and then we'll just keep releasing music in real time. And so far, it's been great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's that again. One of the advantages of being indie that didn't exist when you had a record label necessarily.
Absolutely. Yeah, true.
So why did you want to work with different producers? I mean, Gordie Johnson is a tremendous singer-songwriter, as is Joel Plaskett, but very different.
They are different, but they all, I sort of feel like I'm part of this Gordie Johnson family, and I think a lot of Canadian musicians and artists can attribute a lot of their starts to Gordie Johnson. Everyone that I've been working with and collaborating with has been through him. Joel, he worked with Joel as producing his early stuff, and then also now the Trues with John Angus and Tim Jason and the Walkervilles. I mean, we're all Gordie babies, basically.
Gordie the mentor.
Gordie the mentor. Gordie the godfather.
So why do you like collaborating? I mean, you obviously, we started by talking about all these different balls you juggle. You're a motivational speaker. You got a music festival. You're doing all these
kind.
which are independent things. And yet when it comes to your music, you like to collaborate. Why?
It's just, again, sort of learned that from Gordie, being on the road with him, being in the studio with him. I think most artists start off writing songs by themselves, and I was certainly that way. But after meeting him and him introducing me to some other co-writers, I now just, it's such a better experience the more people, for me, that are involved. I mean, I'm still able to be the rudder or the North Star or whatever, guiding light with all the different writers, but I just... music is meant to be shared, both in the making for me and also in the end result.
Not a control freak.
Well, no, I hope I work, well, I've listened to a lot of Oprah. I don't know, we'll see. I hope not. No, absolutely not.
Speaking of Oprah, can you talk to me a little bit about your initiative, Girls Who Believe?
Yes, absolutely. It's a song off my record, Place Called Happy, the debut, and it got picked up by Degrassi, The Next Generation, and I had a lot of younger girls that were getting in touch with me over social media, and they couldn't come out to most of my shows because they're all 19 plus, venues, and so my team and I decided, let's start booking you into schools and performing for some of these girls. And those performances ended up turning into fabulous conversations with amazing young female minds. And I just got totally obsessed with it, and I love doing it. And we go into schools. I now bring other artists as well, singer-songwriters, filmmakers, writers, all female, to really discuss what the girls want to do when they grow up and what they believe in and how they're going to do it and how we're going to help them. And then that resulted in this festival called Girls Who Believe Fest that happens in the fall, and Slate Music sponsors it, and we're going to be going into our third year.
Fantastic. It's funny because you like being mentored and you've turned into a mentor.
That's it. I mean, it's that whole pay it forward thing, I guess. The song Girls Who Believe is about my gratitude towards all the women that have extended their hand to me. You know, this idea that women are competitive with each other and sort of are worst enemies. That's not been my experience. And so I really want to be a part of not creating that experience for other younger girls too.
Fantastic. I'm speaking with singer-songwriter Meredith Shaw. Meredith, I want to ask you about the song you've brought for us, our Song of the Week. But first, let's check on the roads with Joan Chang.
On the eastbound 401 at Dufferin in the Collectors, we had a collision blocking a center lane. It's just been cleared off to the shoulder. It's busy on the eastbound 401 from the 427 to Bathurst, Bayview to Leslie, Whites Road to Salem. Westbound 401 heavy at the Allen over to the 400. 410 to Mavis. Westbound on the 403, not too bad, but it does slow down through here, Ontario. Northbound 410 filled in 401 on and off up to Steeles. And on the northbound DVP, it's slow from Gerrard to York Mills. In town, we still have Danforth Avenue closed between Pape and Jones, and that's for a collision. I'll have more traffic before 5 o'clock, or 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Thanks, Joan. Every Monday at this time on Here and Now, we have a brand new Song of the Week. This week, we're presenting new music from Toronto singer-songwriter Meredith Shaw. Now, Meredith, you just released your EP, The Hardest Goodbye. It's the second disc in your trio of EPs.
Yeah.
Your Tringle.
Yeah, my Tringle.
EPs, as we've discussed. We picked the title track to be our Song of the Week.
Yes.
So can you tell me what the story is behind Hardest Goodbye?
Absolutely. Well, I co-wrote this song with Tim Chasen, a fantastic friend of mine, an artist from the East Coast. And we wrote it in his PEI living room, and the two of us just really wanted to write a breakup song that didn't make you want to just cry and drink wine. We wanted to write something a little bit more empowering, and we wanted to write it from the perspective of both the girl and the guy. So I love writing with Tim Chasen, and this is the single.
Mentoring is a big theme here, wanting to uplift people.
It is. I love a Joni Mitchell record like everyone else, but I think my thing is putting some positivity and things out there in the world. That's sort of been my bent on things, or my take on it. So, yeah.
Meredith, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.